Welcome back, everyone, to the Great War on the Western Front as we continue our playthrough as the Central Powers. It is May of 1916. If you haven't seen the previous episodes up to this point, there's a link in the description that will take you back to episode 1. Our main focus right now is trying to cut off the French in Verdun and Saint-Menehould, where they've got some pretty massive amounts of armies. So we're focusing on Bar-le-Duc and Saint-Désir. Chalon-sur-Marne, he actually attacked me there. So what I want to do here is I want to use some of the available gold reserves I have to build up the field hospital and the supply depot there. That's all going to help me financially moving forward. So otherwise, we're going to sit tight for the most part. We already attacked from Metz to Bar-le-Duc this turn, so we're going to go ahead and advance to the next turn. We'll see if he attacks us again at Chalon-sur-Marne. No, he's actually going to attack at Vouziers this time instead. Since he didn't have any luck there, he's going to attack us here. But again, we've got a decent amount of available supply, so I think we're going to be able to throw him back pretty readily. We don't have any air power there, but we do have some artillery. Okay, so we have what I've decided to do. Because he's got air power and I can't combat that, I'm not placing machine gun nests because those are going to be the first thing his bombers target, and they're just going to take those out. And so they'll basically be worthless to me. So instead what I've done is we're going with defense in depth, and I have built reinforced second line trenches. And I've filled those because they can actually have 2 companies firing at one time from those trenches. The front line trenches, not actually, these ones are reinforced here too in the center. But we'll see which side he's going to attack me from, and then I can shift units from one side to the other as necessary. I've also got 4 batteries of heavy artillery, and he may target those with his air power now instead. But we'll see what happens. We just got to hold for 25 minutes. Okay, looks like the attack's going to come on the left. So I'm going to pause for a second here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right now. I'm going to start rethinking our strategy as far as men go. So we're going to start shifting units from the right side over more toward the left, and eventually any reinforcements we send in will send in to that side. So it's raining. Here come the French, and we're going to go ahead and fire up the artillery. We could gas them, but I don't think we need to go there yet. I don't want to spend that kind of points. That's 80 points for a gas attack. I don't feel like that's really necessary at the moment. I think the artillery will be plenty. We're just going to really just shell the heck out of him. Remember, this is just my front line. I don't expect that front line to hold. The second line is really where we're going to do the damage on him. But we're already off to a good start. He is starting to get into... Remember, I only have 1 company in each trench here. But it looks like he's only going to do damage to us in 1 spot there. That'll be easy enough to fix. Alright, so let's pause. We're going to go ahead and pull that unit out. We're going to send a unit up to take their place. And then we're going to, once we're able to, call in 1 reinforcement to that spot. Well, this is really interesting. I haven't seen him do this before. He has actually shifted his focus to the other side now. So now we've got British and French troops coming in from this side. But I didn't completely pull everybody off the line. All I did was make it a little thinner over here. Nothing we can't handle, though. We just don't have a double line in the rear, but we're still... Well, we do have a double line in the rear on that side. Just a little thinner defended there, but I think we can handle this. We've got these trenches able to fire. So far, so good. I think we're going to be fine throwing off this wave. Interesting. Oh, he just dropped some tear gas or smoke of some kind, which got his own guys, which is kind of interesting. So the same thing here. Once we throw these guys back, we'll pull this company off the line. We'll replace them with a fresh unit, and we'll be in good shape. In fact, what I'll do here is I'll throw one of these guys up there, and then we'll just replace that unit. Alright, we're in good shape. We've inflicted a decent amount of casualties already, and very little to show for it for the Allies. Okay, they're going to come at us from the same side this time. So once again, we'll start dropping artillery on them. This time it's all French. I'm just going to use 3 for now, and then we'll drop a 4th one here in a minute. Oh, they got more coming back there in the back, so we'll drop some more here. He shifted a little further to my right this time with this attack. He doesn't apparently have much artillery though, because he's only ever using one. He's only ever suppressing one trench, which is making it really hard for him. If he could suppress all 3 front trenches, he might be able to get a breakthrough there. But he just doesn't have enough. Yeah, this is not going well for him at all. I just don't think he has the supplies that he needs for this. Alright, same thing. We're gonna pull this guy off the line. We're gonna bring up some fresh troops. And then we're gonna replace them. We've got plenty of supply left. 585. No real concerns at all. Alright, he's going back and forth. He's coming back at us on the other side now, so rinse and repeat. We just keep doing what we're doing. It seems to be working quite well. Doesn't appear to be a strong wave coming at us on the right here. And we've got more of a defense here, so it's a lot easier for us to throw them back on this side. Zoom in and see things a little closer here. They dropped smoke on that position, but they had no chance at all. This is going to be the most. This time he went at both sides at the same time. Okay, stepping up his game a little bit. Same result. They're not even going to hit the trenches this time. Wow, just what a disaster this has been for them so far. Absolute disaster. And another wave on the way. We're down to just 10 minutes left, and he has not even threatened me in the slightest. Looks like he's focusing really heavily on my left this time. But we're just mowing him down. The French really just have no chance here at all. I almost feel bad for him. I'm really surprised he hasn't called for a ceasefire yet. This is a longer wave that has allowed me to get a second round of artillery fired at him. And he's been hitting this spot pretty hard with heavy artillery, but it's just not doing that much. My goodness. How many men is he going to send to die here? Alright, he's going to make one more effort against our right now. So, I know it feels repetitive, but this is World War I, right? I mean, this is what World War I's all about, is just Beating your head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And just French soldiers just falling like crazy here. It's just nuts what they're doing. My goodness, I didn't even need to fire that artillery. Alright, looks like this is going to be a big wave coming at us here all at once. This is probably the biggest wave I've seen him send yet. It's his last ditch effort to try and overwhelm us here with just a few minutes left. Just means more dead Frenchmen. They're going to hit the frontline trenches this time with the number of men that they have, but I mean, they're barely even testing our second and third lines. Two minutes to go. He won't even have time for another wave. I don't even have to worry about reinforcing these guys. Okay. The enemy ran out of time. Let's go ahead and take a look at these numbers. They're going to be absurdly one-sided. I would not be surprised if it's 10-1 on casualties for this one. So, we inflicted 18,200 casualties on him. We lost 810 basic infantry. A cost of 81 for us. Cost of 1,800 for him. That is massive. It's a major victory. It's not quite a great victory, but it's a major victory in which he was the attacker. That really helps things, and now we get to go ahead and launch our attacks. Okay, new turn begins. We've got another 1,400 in new gold reserves. Let's see what the unread events are. Easter Rising in Ireland, so that obviously is going to probably have a negative impact on the British home front for the national will. And we have here, demoralize them, Canada. Defeat 2 Canadian infantry companies. Good luck, because the Canadians are hardcore. Those soldiers are nuts, man. And I mean that as a sincere compliment. I believe the Canadian soldiers were the best soldiers on the Western Front. Just phenomenal. So we've got 2 points. That doesn't give us enough to get death from below, which is what we're after. So we're going to wait a turn, and then we'll be able to get mines after that. So in the meantime, do we want to launch an attack, or do we want to wait, is the question. I think we probably need to keep the pressure up. This still seems like kind of a strong place to attack. So I feel like maybe it's not the best place to attack yet. At least if we want to actually see victory. I'm curious to see how well we can go here. That looks like a great victory, even with an auto resolve. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that one. Let's go ahead and make that attack. Okay, so we have a pretty thin line on the left and the center. We're loading up on the right, which is where we are going to be launching our attack from. And I'm just going to do my best to try and do this. I'm going to have a balloon here, but I couldn't put it any closer than this. I'm really only going to be able to see the front of what he does. So we're going to try to take A, then go for the center, and then work our way over to B. Hopefully we can do all of that. But I don't want to do it in such a way that it costs me dearly in the process. So we'll see what happens. So it looks like our balloon's going to have a pretty good view of everything surrounding A. Less so in what's surrounding the other locations. So we do see a couple of machine gun nests way back here. I'm going to start by going after those. Now, same thing with my heavy artillery. Not all of it is going to have the ability to bombard every target. But we should be able to get some of it. I'm going to use 2 batteries of heavy artillery on each. That probably still won't be quite enough, but should get us pretty close. I'm then going to probably gas the front lines, or actually the rear lines, while I move in. So he's actually sending a couple of companies toward my center. I think he's just probing to see what I've got there, and he's finding out real quick that I do have it protected. We did take out one of the machine guns. The other is still there, and we'll very quickly take it out here now. Once we do that, I'll make sure I have all my artillery ready, and we're going to hit these front lines while we move in with what we've got left. So we're going to start moving forward, and then once we get in close enough, that's when I'll call in the artillery. Okay, artillery's starting. We're going to keep these guys moving forward. I don't quite have any cover to hit these back lines, but I mean, that's just... Oh boy, here comes his artillery. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Looks like we're going to do pretty well in... Oh, we've got some barbed wire here. That's a problem. But we're going to do a decent job of getting at least into these frontline trenches. Alright, let's pause for a second because I think we can get some more artillery drop down on these guys. Got to do our best to drop into these trenches before we get hit too much. Yeah, none of my artillery is available at the moment. A lot of German dead in front of these trenches. We've got another unit that I've got sitting back here, but that's okay. Let's pause for a minute because what we're going to do now is we're going to start calling in reinforcements. Another line of them. While we try to consolidate and hold these positions up front as best we can. Just barely going to hang on to it. Alright, I think we're just about ready with our artillery again. But we're going to want to wait. What we're going to do is we're going to wait until these reinforcements get up and into position. Then we'll use the artillery to cover them. Okay, I think we've got all of the Allied lines covered. So we're going to try to get these guys dropped into these trenches now. As best we can. Now he's dropping his artillery. So we're going to sit a little short of this line here, I think, for the time being. Might have fired that a little early because I feel like they're going to be able to start opening fire on me before I can completely get in there. Yep, everybody's firing now. Get into the trenches, boys, quick. Ah. They're all out in the open. They're getting fired on. I'm a little too close. We're gonna have to wait until we get some more artillery here. Let's pull these guys back. Okay, artillery's firing again, and I think, at least in a few cases here, we might actually have an opportunity now to actually wipe these guys out. I'm going to go ahead and move under the cover of the artillery to do that. Oh, he's firing on mine too, that I have sitting out in the open, just basically sitting ducks. We've just about, though, wiped out the last of the enemy that are in these trenches, which means we're going to be able to bring in reinforcements from back here moving forward. Yep, we should start capturing A now, as we're about to wipe out the Brits here. Yep, they're going to pull them out. Alright, we'll capture A. We'll see if he starts sending troops from over here to try and come at me. He may do that. Interesting we're not capturing A yet. There must be more troops in here that we can't see. Otherwise, there's no reason we can't begin taking it. That's really strange. So here they come. They are going to try and take it back. That actually is an ideal situation for me. Let him be out in the open. Makes it easier for us to reduce his numbers before we have to try and attack these further trenches. And there were Brits that were hiding in this position over here, which is why we hadn't started taking A yet. So we'll try to throw back these attacks. And once we take A, then we can bring in our reinforcements right here. There we go. We're going to start taking A now, but we've already lost about 40% of our mission time. All right, let's go ahead and start making our move on the next part of this. I'm going to try to get as far toward the back as I can, behind where his trenches are, see if we can't get at that command trench directly. I am going to hold some troops here, just because we're going to probably need them. And I want to get a look as well and see if I can spot where he's got machine gun nests back here, because I'm sure he does. Just not sure we're going to have enough time to do this in the way I'd like to. I'm just hoping the machine gun nests will be pointed in such a way that they may not be able to easily get at me. Alright, we're going to drop some artillery on these spots here. Okay, we do have fire coming at us. It's going to be hard to get across this land without having real issues with being under fire. But the good news is I doubt he's got artillery that can hit me back here. And the same with machine guns. And we're going to slow this down here. Alright. Maybe some more artillery. Need to try and suppress more of these guys. Alright, no artillery available at the moment. I've used all of it. This is going to be tough, just because of the manpower he's got here. Gonna definitely need to be calling in a bunch of reinforcements, and we're starting to get low here. I just don't know if we were gonna have the manpower to do this effectively. Alright, what else do we have over here? We've still got several units there. Okay, we're gonna suppress these already weakened British and French troops here as we bring in more reinforcements to drop into these trenches. And then I'm going to start sending some of these other ones over. I'm getting low on time though, but I'm hoping we'll weaken him enough to where we can quickly go on B. I'm not entirely sure why these guys aren't moving like I ordered them to. We're getting to the point where we're not going to be able to do too many more of these artillery barrages. Oh, and they got 2 full units over here. And 2 more there. Yeah, boy. Okay, we're hitting them with artillery while we do our best to drop into the command trench here in the rear. I'm not quite sure we've got the manpower to do that quite yet, though. Yeah, he's going to throw us back. I just don't have the supplies to finish the job, I'm afraid. I really don't. I think we're going to probably have to be content with not finishing this job, but I would like to at least take this command trench if I can. I just don't think we're going to be able to take B. Here he comes sending reinforcements now. Alright, we're going to send a company up into this trench so we can deal with all 3 of these severely depleted French units. As long as we can drop into the trench without too many casualties, we can do that. We're taking way more casualties than I expected from the British. Don't know if we've got the manpower to take these other 2. And then we'll try to take the command trench again. We've only depleted him by about half so far. Oh, he actually came out into the open on me, made my job easier. We've got 76 left, which means we're going to have to switch over to calling in conscripts, which only costs 2. And we're going to have to cut down on artillery at this point, too. Alright, we're going to try and finally take these command trenches. I'm also going to be able to drop into this trench, which means I'll be able to start getting grenades on his artillery there and destroy them, which will at least get me some more points in the final tally. We're going to start taking the command trench now. Here come our conscripts. Alright, time is not on our side, but we're going to at least try to make a little bit of a push toward B and see what we're facing over here. I'm hoping he has sent a lot of those troops over to the other areas where we've been fighting, and that we may not be facing all that much. Of course, we can't see it, but we're going to send what we can and see exactly what's going on up here. We're about to come into sight of what he's got. I should be able to at least get a little bit of artillery on them. Nobody's under fire yet. Oh, here they come. Yeah, we're under fire big time now. That happened really quickly, too. Alright, I don't know if this is going to happen, but we're going to This is where it might have made sense for me to have some light artillery because it doesn't cost as much. It doesn't destroy anybody, but it at least suppresses, which I could really use the suppressing right now. This may just be unnecessary casualties for a battle I can't win at this point.
Wir haben neue Befehle. Wir müssen diese Stellung halten. Wir haben neue Befehle. An die Linie. Warten auf Befehle. Feuerstellung einnehmen. Bereit machen. Auf der Feuerstufe bereit.
And these are conscripts, so they're not exactly gonna do the trick in the trenches on these guys. Yeah, he's got way too many men left. I have no chance of taking this position. He's got machine gun nests back there too. Alright, we're going to call a ceasefire on this. And just accept that we weren't able to do enough to take a star. But hopefully we ground him down even further to where he's not going to be able to keep supplying these troops. Let's see where we're at. Still a pretty good victory. Ah, we were so close to a great victory. But it wasn't going to be complete, so... Replenishment costs were actually pretty close on each side, but I feel like I can replace those better than he can. We move on to July of 1916, historically when the Battle of the Somme took place. Yep. -10 national will, even though I didn't actually fight the Battle of the Somme, they're going to act like we did. So speaking of the Somme, there were 19 mines exploded under the German lines. At the start of that attack on July 1st, 1916, we now have the ability to explode mines. I would like to get bombers, but we don't have enough for that. We can get blast power, increased damage of grenade attacks for standard infantry soldiers. We could get region intel. Volunteer is going to give me 2 new infantry corps. Let's do that. Wouldn't mind having those extra forces available to us. We've got a nice amount of gold reserves to spend now as well. So I'm going to send these guys in where I feel like I can use them. And I think we're going to... Oh yeah, we definitely need to buy global supply. We have like none at all. Because it takes a lot of global supply to do things. So, convert gold reserves to acquire 400 supply. Gave me another 1,000 in gold reserves for doing that. So, that's helpful. Alright, I think we're going to probably do this again. But you can see he's got a lot going on in Saint-Menehould. So, I feel like this is still the place to launch these attacks. Let's see what it gives us right now. You know what? Let's try once to do the auto-resolve and see if it gives me... It gave me a major victory. Alright, -20 to the French. It wasn't complete, though, which means we didn't get that star reduction. But that's okay. We're going to wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. And we'll be back again with another episode. We do have a 100-point lead now in the national will score, so that seems to be working for us. I don't feel like he's in a position where he's going to be launching too many attacks. And now that we've got the ability to do the mines, that's going to make for an interesting next round of attacks here. So we'll do that when we come back. Thanks for watching.